A review like this should be in the dark. I'm about 2 hours away from Halloween, and just how appropriate to have my first advanced screening ever of the movie Doctor Sleep. Yes, Stephen King's sequel to The Shining. And here I am, driving away from the theater, thinking to myself, what was it like the first time I saw The Shining? And I feel like when I read The Shining, I wanted to see the movie The Shining, as has been the case with every Stephen King movie based on his books. Stephen King didn't write the screenplay for this, but the times that writers have gotten it right, have gotten Stephen King's right, they understood he's a storyteller. He tells stories. This movie is a tad bit on the long side. That's in some ways to its detriment. But if you think of like The Green Mile and some of the other wonderful Stephen King adaptions, they were on the longer side. Stand By Me, it was based on a short story in different seasons. Or a novella, I guess it was. But it wasn't a novel. And yet, there was a beauty understood about what Stephen King does. And at the end of this film, which I'm not going to ruin, no spoilers in here, people clapped. Why'd they clap? Because they were told a story. They were told a story. And the fundamental thing that Stephen King does, and he does better than anybody that I know, he tells stories, great stories, wonderful stories. And yes, there's shades of The Shining in this story. There has to be. Dan Torrance, as he's known now, he's not Danny the young boy anymore. He's Dan Torrance. He grows up. He's got chasing away the demons with alcohol. And you know what I'm reminded of as I saw this movie, as I watched the movie, and to a lesser extent when I read the book, and I'm being a little vague intentionally, but to a lesser extent, the book. But the movie made me think of a book by Dan Simmons called Carrying Comfort, about psychic vampires. And when I read that book the first time, it scared the hell out of me. You know, I'm not a big vampire guy. I mean, obviously I love Dracula with Bela Lugosi. But I'm here to tell you that Stephen King just tells great stories. I don't care what else we want to say about Stephen King. He just tells great stories. And gosh darn it, this was a great story. It really was. I mean, I know people, it's probably not going to sell in the theaters as well as The Joker did. Why? Because it's not the type of story. It isn't that different, if you will, from a lot of other things. And yet it is. For sequels, hit it out of the park, really. I just can't say enough much about it. Is it better than The Shining? No, that's the main question that I think that anybody listening, watching, that's what they're going to compare it to, and it's kind of an unfair comparison. It's comparing the Halloween one to all the other Halloweens that have come before it. But I really enjoyed the film. I did. It was my favorite film of the month. I'm going to see, hopefully tomorrow night, going to see on Halloween night, if there's time, to finish it up with Terminator Dark Fate. But this was better than Joker for me. Was not better than The Shining. It's tough. You know what it didn't have that The Shining had in it was Jack Nicholson. My God, Jack Nicholson, great actor. Great actor. And, you know, you don't have him in it, and it's missing something huge. You know, something really huge is missing without Jack Nicholson in it. So it comes up short from being better than the Shining, but it was the best movie that I've seen this year so far. 2019, it's the best movie that I've seen. So it is a strong, out of 5 stars, Doctor Sleep, which I got the great privilege to see 8 days ahead of when everybody else is going to see it, and I'm not going to ruin it. I'm giving it a very, very, very strong 4 stars. Why am I not giving it 5 stars if I'm so, you know, enamored by it? Because, you know, it was a little on the long side. The takeaways, they could have shortened it up a little bit. And I think that's probably what people that are going to dislike it are going to point to, that it maybe took a little too long to get to the point. But it set everything up so beautifully. For me, I don't mind a longer movie if it sets up things beautifully, and this one really, really did. We've got good, we've got evil, we've got deep characterization, great acting. No, we don't have Jack Nicholson. And no, it wasn't as scary as The Shining. Those are the 2 things I can take away from it and take away that 1 star. But did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. And, you know, I'll probably go see that again before it gets out of the theaters again. I loved it. It was great. I really did. Four strong stars, and I'm tempted to go 4.5, but I'm just going to leave it at 4, at the very high end of 4 stars, 4.25, if you could call it. Just really, really good. And honestly, my eyes are kind of tearing up a little bit, and I know it sounds kind of wimpy, but because I really felt like I saw a great story being told tonight, a great story from a master storyteller, and who, the gentleman, I don't have his name with me as I'm speaking this right now, that wrote the screenplay, but did a really good job adapting Stephen King and feeling it, you know, getting through to it. Similar as I'm sure people felt when they saw it, and that's why it did so well in the theaters, that there was a great translation of Stephen King's words. And I just think people are going to love the heck out of this movie. I did. A strong 4 stars. This is Todd, TJSNK. I know this is longer than my normal review. This movie deserved it. Strong 4 stars for the best movie I've seen in 2019. And if I could clap right now, in the dark, in the light, for Doctor Sleep, make movie reviews by us.com. It's a major thumbs up for me. Go see it when it comes out. Go see it. Thank you.